Hello guys and welcome again to another episode of Geeks Out of Nowhere. Yun. And welcome back, Migs. How's your dito? Mga bakasyon-bakasyon mo muna. Basta buhay.
Okay, ano lang naman, quick vacation sa sa summer capital of the Philippines. So nothing out of the country yet. And nagkapag-unwind, bumili ng madaming comics. And ayun, sobrang in fairness, consistent tayo. So from the last episode na na-record na kasama ko, at least wala pang 1 month yung interval.
Oo. Pangatlong ano man na to pangatlong episode
Pangatlo,
na.
oo.
Diba? Ayos. And then, ano pa ba? Yeah, I want to shout out na rin sa iba nating mga kasama sila. Eugene, si Mandy, si John, and everybody else na. Sayang, di tayo nagtutugma na ng schedule pero pati yan, si Eugene pala is now working on medyo busy siya ngayon and he's working on comics together with Sir LC and Miss Mau no si Kai. So dito Arction would be launched on July, so abang-abang na lang tayo doon.
Ayan. Abangan natin yan. And good luck sa paggawa ng comics. I'm sure magiging maganda ang kalalabasan niyan or yung finished product.
Yeah. Actually, targeting nga na pag nilaunch nila yon, pupuntahan ko para bumili ako ng comics nila. I'm very much excited with their the result of their work. Yan. And then syempre brief overview pahapyaw lang siguro. Brief tuloy. Puro brief na lang bayan. Kailan na bumili
Hawak mo ang brief. Hawak mo ang brief.
Yan. Dito, yan. Konting pahapyaw lang. This May 10 would be Backlash Tampa. Diba?
May 10 na ba yun?
Oh, May 10. Di mo na namamalayan. Kasabay nun is Mother's Day. So, ayun, dito. Kasabay nun Mother's Day, tapos May 10, Backlash Tampa will be live via Netflix here sa ating local streaming site like sa Netflix Philippines yun technically. So
masama pa din loob ko kasi dahil natalo si Randy Orton. Kaya
Oo, pero sige. Pero more on more ang magiging main event nun would be Roman Reigns versus Jake.
Roman Reigns,
Yun. Then yun. Abangan natin. On May 17 naman, FPW Matira Matibay, tapos alam ko meron pa atang bago sa with regards sa Dexcon. Baka Gaijin and Friends and Dexcon Dakila with featuring Zack Sabre and the returning Zack Sabre Jr. with Chris. I forgot the but I think Jake De Leon would defend the title against Chris. Basta I forgot the surname, but that will be the highlight of that card. So hopefully guys, if you can watch them all, please do so to support our local wrestling industry na rin dito sa Pilipinas. Yan.
And kailan mo kakalabanin siya? Kailan mo hahamulin ng match si Jeff Cobb?
Hindi ko na. Kakalabas lang kakarelease
lang ni baka pwede mo nang hahamulin ng one-on-one si Jeff Cobb.
Maraming nakapila kay Jeff Cobb. Unang-una si Legendarius. Susunod gusto bumawi ni Boss Mike Madrigal. And then syempre si Quattro din. And then ewan ko, baka nakapila rin siya against sa FPW champion Kushida. So, and then yun mga pala, so yun, FPW YouTube channel has already featured the championship match of Jeff Cobb versus Mike Madrigal. So, hopefully, napanood nyo na yun. Last Thursday pa pinalabas yun. So, we're recording this on a Friday night. So, basta now you'll know that yung time frame namin, kumbaga. Okay.
Wala kaming nightlife ng Friday.
Oo. lipas na tayo doon.
Mm.
Di
We're
na,
past our prime.
yeah,
So wala na kaming we don't usually party na pagpatak ng Friday.
kaya talaga no mga older millennials no
Mm.
mga di na wala na di na umiinom ng
Mm.
beer or whatever kasi ang iniinom na is maintenance.
Maintenance, kape kahit bawal.
Oh, grabe, bawal na sa iyo kape?
Hindi pwede naman. Basta
Uh,
black coffee or
yeah.
less milk.
Mm. Ako
Less
actually
sugar pala, sorry.
less
Less
sugar.
sugar.
Yeah, actually ito nga ako nga dito di na ako hindi na ako nag 3 in 1 kasi pala medyo masama pala siya sa katawan.
So,
So,
kami din.
black
Kami?
coffee na lang talaga
Black
ako.
coffee, tsaka yung talagang coffee beans talaga,
Mm-mm.
hindi yung hindi instant.
Yeah. Kung ang beer mapait
Mm.
rin naman ang kape.
Mm.
Pero mas mapait pa rin ang buhay.
Mm. Lalo na pagka naging ka na, responsible adult.
Yeah, totoo. Pero syempre, hindi naman natin iiwan yung mga hobbies natin as long as we are responsible enough to cover our bills and other immediate
Hindi ka
expenses.
nagkakabaon-baon sa utang.
Totoo. Diba? Tama yun. Oo. Bayad utang muna bago hobbies. Bago bili ng laruan. Okay. So, ayun pala, no? Anyway, we're recording this days after the news na napabalitaan natin. A legend of Tokusatsu has passed away, and that's Kenji Oba, also known as Retsu Ichijoji, the OG Gavan, Space Sheriff Gavan. And
Yes. And other roles such as Battle Kenya from Battle Fever J and also Denji Blue sa Denji Man.
yeah. And dito, he was able to reprise those free roles in one movie during the
Gokaiger.
Gokaiger versus Space Sheriff Gavan. Yeah. Was able to watch that. Sige. For those people sa lalong-lalo na sa mga Filipino audience natin na not familiar with Gavan, no. Yeah, we were able to talk about it before on our first episode, 'di ba? If you remember 4 years ago.
That's 4 years ago. And iba yung if you remember, iba ang pangalan ni Gavan dito sa Pilipinas. So, hindi siya Space Sheriff Gavan, kundi Sky Ranger. So, kung nalilito kayo or kung hindi nyo maalala, pero familiar si Kenji Oba sa inyo and familiar din yung spacesuit ni Gavan kasi siya si Sky Ranger na pinalabas, if I'm not mistaken, sa ABC5 nung 90s.
Yeah. ABC5 ata, pati RPN9.
RPN din ata.
RPN9. Sabado ata ng hapon yan. Or Sabado ng gabi. Mga ganong oras. Yeah. So, ang dami rin, aside from that, no? Sige, let's talk about his life and his contributions, no? Kasi I was able to browse through Facebook yung mga dedications sa kanya, and there's a post saying about that yung timeline of events sa kanyang buhay. So he started pala as a suit actor in a Kamen Rider, I think in one Kamen Rider series. I don't know if it's the original Kamen Rider series, no? But he started as a suit actor, and I think part siya ng guild na established by I don't know if si tatay ba ni Sonny Chiba yon? Yeah, search ko na lang.
Not sure. Pero stuntman si Kenji Oba din. So most of his stunts or baka lahat ata ng stunts niya siya yung gumagawa. So
yes.
Hindi siya siguro ng mga later period tumanda na siya, pero ang pagkakaalam ko hindi siya gumagamit ng stunt double. So siya talaga ang gumagawa ng kanyang stunt.
Lahat ng stunts niya. Actually, before he became Gavan nga, diba? He became yun nga pala yun, suit. So he's first a suit actor for Kikaider. And then later on nauna pala muna siya maging Battle Kenya. sa Battle
Oo.
Fever J,
Tas Denji Man.
Denzi Man,
Denji Blue.
as Denzi Blue, and then later on nung yung ginawa na yung yung Metal Hero series, particularly the Space Sheriff franchise, si siyang napili na maging the inaugural Gavan, Space Sheriff Gavan. So at pinaglaban talaga siya ng producer niya nun sa Gavan. Kasi hindi raw mapupunta sa kanya yung role na yun, parang try niyo maghanap ng ibang tao na more suitable na gawin yung role na yun. So, and then later on, no, ano pa ba? Naging part din siya ng Kill Bill Volume 1.
Hindi ko nakita yun.
Yeah. Pero kasama niya doon si Sonny Chiba, which is yung tatay ni si Sonny Chiba ay tatay ni Makenyu Arata. Si
Zoro tsaka si
Zoro.
yung sa Kamen Rider, nandun din siya sa movie ng Kamen Rider Drive.
Oo.
So siya yung anak ni Towari from the future.
And then syempre aside from that, Makenyu is also the actor who portrayed as a Enishi Yukishiro, live action Rurouni Kenshin. Yeah.
Si Makenyo sobrang pogi nun.
Oo.
Crush siya ng mga babae.
Sobrang pogi. Kahit nga yung wife ko crush niya si Makenyo
Makenyo.
Yeah. Pero yun nga no, let's go back to Kenji Oba. Ang dami pala niya. If you're sa RX lumabas rin pala siya.
Hindi ko maalala kung anong episode, pero most likely napanood ko yun. Same with Gav, yung Space Sheriff Gavan. Ang dami kong episodes na panood apart from yung final arc, pero bits and pieces na lang naalala ko. Maybe siguro dahil bata pa ako nung time na yon, and hindi ko pa siya pinanood uli. Unlike si Shider na pinanood ko 2 beses nung medyo tumanda na tayo. Tapos ang pinaka naalala ko sa kanya ngayon is yung mga appearances niya doon sa mga later series like sa Gokaiger, tapos yung movie niya with yung bagong Gavan with Gavan Type G.
Gavan Type G, yeah. Actually lumabas rin siya as sa Juken Sentai Geki Ranger as the father.
Hindi ko pa natatapos yun.
As the father of sino ba yung father of Geki Red?
Si Jan. Nakalimutan ko. Basta hindi, pinos ko kasi yung pinos ko yung panonood ko dun, so hindi ko na maalala.
Yeah, pero it's pero alam niyo yun, no? So hopefully we could watch a lot of his works through through the internet, or actually Space Sheriff Gavan is available on YouTube
via YouTube. Yung buong series as in pwede niyo siya panoorin
via the Toei Tokusatsu channel. I think you can watch it over on YouTube. So yun. What can you say about Kenji Oba aside from being a revolutionary actor na talagang siya yung gumagawa lahat ng stunts niya?
For me, very versatile. So hindi lang yung acting mismo, pati yung own stunts, sobrang nag-e-effort siya. And hindi biro nung time na yon, nung mga 70s, 80s, hindi biro ang pagiging stuntman kasi nung time na yun wala pang CGI. So kapag tatalon ka talaga sa matataas na na lugar, tatalon ka talaga.
May may foam lang, saka karton lang na sasalo sa'yo.
pag nakita niyo yung try nyo manood ng mga behind the scenes ng tokusatsu. So makikita nyo yung makikita nyo kung gaano kahirap yung mga stunts na ginagawa nila and
Mm.
gaano ka-effort yung production.
Oo. Dito yung yung Tokusatsu series halos kasabay rin siya ng na the rise of Tokusatsu series almost the same at the same timeline as yung pag-rise ng Star Wars, 'di ba? Kasi 1970s same timeline sila eh. And makikita mo yung influence, di naman sa influences ng Tokusatsu, no? Parang they somehow develop at the same time, 'di ba? With regards to the special effects.
O meron kasi parang for me may phases kasi yung tokusatsu. Let's say for example, nung 1960s kay Ultraman, sikat siya. Tapos nung dumating yung Go Ranger, tsaka yung Kamen Rider nung early 70s. Tapos syempre nung mga mid-70s, medyo nag-dwindle yan. Kasi dahil may mga anime, yung mga giant robots.
Yes.
So sumikat yun. Pero nung time ni Gavan, yun yung time na uli sila, medyo paangat uli. Dahil that was, I think, in the early 80s. So, yun yung time na meron din boom ng sci-fi dahil sa Star Wars, which is malaking inspiration ng Metal Hero series.
Oo. Kaya
ayun, parang lahat sila hindi naman copycat, pero lahat almost yung mga super super sentai, mga tokusatsu during that time or that time period, sila focused heavily on space.
Totoo. Yun na, no? So parang ibig sabihin pala, no, since nauna ang 1975 ang 'di ba? Ang ang Star Wars, tama ba?
77.
77. Oh, tama. Nauna nga nauna nga ang Star Wars. So technically they really claim yung yung sila naunang mag-feature ng lightsaber tapos laser blade na lang sa Space Sheriff Gavan. But I think mas na perfect ng tokusatsu yung rotoscoping for the laser blades. Diba? Mas pulido tingnan compared dun sa lightsabers. Noon.
Pero ngayon mas pulido ang lightsaber.
Yeah. Di rin pala tayo, yun, napunta na rin tayo sa lightsaber, no? Lumipas na rin pala, May the 4th be with you. Star Wars. Napanood mo na ba yung yung dito? Yung Mole Shadow Lord.
Parang episode 5 na ata ako. So far, gusto ko siya. Ang ganda nung animation, pero ayun nga, hindi pa ako fully immersed sa panonood. So, pinapark ko muna siya. Doon nagagandahan ako, pero gusto ko yung nakafocus na ako. Same way with Daredevil Born Again Season 2. So, pinark ko muna siya. Gusto ko yung pagbigana na akong manood ng series. Tsaka ko siya papanoorin. Kasi ngayon talaga, yung mga free time ko fully devoted talaga sa pagbabasa ng comics. Dahil yun yung naging escape ko when it comes to to forget about yung mga mga realities in life.
Yeah. Ay, teka lang, no? Matagal na pala natin itong di nagagawa. And actually, it's one of our features din pala dito sa podcast, no? Yung mga recent comics acquisitions mo na pwede natin siguro ma-feature. So, I think, ready ka ba sa mga mo?
Andito yung mga comics na nakuha ko for free na bigay nung very good friend ko. So shout out kay Peter for giving me his or para sa mga pamanang comics. So basically andito siya. Ayoko lang galawin kasi baka biglang magtambon, pero ayun. Ito isa sa mga recommendation ko, which is kung lang tayo isa, wag lahat. Yung Uncanny X-Force ni Rick Remender tsaka ni Jerome Opeña, although magiging rotating na yung artist ito eventually. It's about yung Black Ops team ng X-Men. So they are the ones who do the dirty work. Yung sila yung mga unafraid pumatay or maging to get their hands dirty. So isa to sa mga best X-Men books of the kailan ba release to? 2010s.
Mm.
So ang core members ito is si Wolverine, si Psylocke, si Phantom X, si Deadpool, tsaka si Archangel. So
Ah.
basically parang walang tapon na walang tapon na story arc. One of the best X-Men runs of na nagustuhan ko. Although nabasa ko na ibang arcs ito, ang good thing na naman ako is buo na siya, so I can read it through the with its entirety na.
Oh, nice. Ano, karoon na ba ng parang crossover ang Thunderbolts and X-Force?
Thunderbolts, I don't know, hindi ko alam.
Kasi parang interesting din siya, no? Kasi, for example, di ba, Thunderbolts is parang they brand it as the new Avengers. Pero technically, yung
Mga
values,
sila,
yung,
villain sila,
yeah,
in disguise.
and then di lang yun eh, kasi yung values ng Thunderbolts is different from the Avengers eh. Eh, compare it with the X-Force, di ba? So parang interesting to, parang you have Avengers in the shadows versus the X-Men in the shadows. Para okay rin yung pag ano. And then lately, no, parang nagkaroon ulit ng parang crossover ang DC and Marvel.
Yes, which is yung Batman and Deadpool, tsaka yung Spider-Man and Superman.
Wow.
Anto nakatago eh, pero I have actually dalawa sila. So one comic is being produced by DC. So kunyari pag daw una yung nauna yung character nila. Yung publisher yun yung nag-produce dun. So nauna yung I think is Deadpool Batman, which was published by Marvel. Tapos sumunod naman yung Batman Deadpool. DC ang nag-publish yun, where si Grant Morrison yung writer. Tapos lately, I think last month, March tsaka nung last month, April, lumabas yung nauna naman yung DC Superman, Spider-Man, which was written by Mark Waid. And may mga mga short stories na kasama.
Oh.
And then sumunod naman yung yung Spider-Man, Superman. So yun, basically yung 4 books na yun, hindi lang iisa yung kwento nun. May mga short stories na kasama rin sa sa loob.
Interesting yun, no? Na lately they have I mean, it's not uncommon naman na they would have such kind of crossovers, no? Maraming instances na nangyari yan na nagkaroon ng DC Marvel crossovers, but lately ngayon lang ata nagkaroon ulit.
Ngayon lang ulit, oo.
And then
parang in more than 20 years siguro yung last crossover, kasi last crossover is JLA Avengers, which is Justice League of American Avengers, and that happened around 2003. And isa yun sa pinakamahirap huntingin na na comics ako nahirapan ako kasi yung version ko nun, or yung trade paperback na nabili ko, yung out of print na nabili ko pa second hand sa Comic-Con.
Oh.
Pero yun, dahil kasi nga medyo hindi kaya siya mahirap hanapin nung time na yun, kasi para syempre dalawang publishers yung involved, so hindi siya napapublish or nare-reprint kaagad.
Oo.
Lalo na pag hindi sila, let's say hindi sila magkasundo, or hindi although corporately, hindi ko alam kung hindi sila okay nung time na yun. But not sure, I could be wrong.
Pero at least no, si CB nakalimutan ko na yung apelyido ng editor-in-chief ng Marvel.
Si CB Cebulski.
Si CB Cebulski, I think he was able to reach out to the other editor-in-chief ng DC. That's why they were able to come up with yeah.
Ato naman, yun din, actually, maganda naman yung crossovers, though yung medyo hindi lang ako fan talaga ni Deadpool. Pero yung Spider-Man and Superman, pati yung dalawang comics na pinulus ng Marvel and DC, natuwa ako. Pero yun, we need more like that, kasi ako personally speaking, yung mga recent comics na nilalabas ng Big Two, hindi siya at par dun sa mga binabasa ko before. As in parang, let's say, creatively, medyo hindi ganun kaganda yung quality ng mga lumalabas lately. So lalo na considering me na lumaki na nagbabasa ng Marvel Comics, hindi ganun kaganda ang mga nilalabas ng Marvel lately.
Oo, parang umaangat na nga ulit si DC no? With regards sa
Sobrang
story-wise.
story-wise, tinatadyakan sa puwet ng DC ang Marvel ngayon.
Wow. But the cinematic universe would the DC cinematic universe still needs to do a lot of catch up pa rin with Marvel.
Yes, kaso yun nga problema. Let's say medyo pagod na rin yung tao sa mga superhero movies. So hopefully tingnan natin kung ano mangyayari in the long run.
Oo nga. Uy, kalimutan ko. Speaking of May pa rin, no? May the 4th. Mandalorian and Grogu. On May 13.
22.
22 ba? Oh, tama, 22.
May 22.
Excited ka ba for that movie?
Excited naman, pero alam mo yung nakalimutan ko na lalabas na siya.
Oo. They actually kasi napaka-downer ng downer na, di naman sa downer, pero parang stale for me ang feeling nung ending ng season 3 ng Mandalorian.
Same, oo. Parang alam mo yung pakiramdam na filler season. Ganun yung naramdaman ko. Unlike nung season 2 na fully invested ka.
Yeah. Parang hirap.
Para simula ng Book of Boba Fett, parang pag ganun sila.
Oh, yung story-wise. Then, ano pa ba? Actually, parang aside from the Mall Shadow Lord, and then yung Ahsoka, malayo pang Ahsoka.
Malayo pa. Pero isa yun sa mga na-enjoy ko kasama yung Obi-Wan. Although si Obi-Wan more on fan service kasi.
Totoo. Pero, paano ba masabi natin kay Obi-Wan? They are trying to make a season 2 of Obi-Wan. Yun yung mga naririnig ko from the news over the internet. So, I don't know kung paano nila gagawin yun. Medyo na yung story eh.
Medyo over, parang ine-extend na nila masyado eh.
But yun nga, willing naman kasi sila Hayden and even
Ewan
McGregor expressed naman talaga that they're willing to make a season 2 for Obi-Wan. Which is somehow there's a lot of stories to tell pala. Say for example, yung siguro yung yung siguro exploration na lang ng fate ni Obi-Wan and kung paano niya tatanggapin yung fate na yon, 'di ba? Training look and then later on dying at the lightsaber of Darth Vader, which technically di naman talaga siya technically namatay
kasi naging rin siya Force Ghost. Pero yun nga, ako for me parang it's too much na. Parang siya yung parang if ever yung leave it as it is para hindi mawala yung kung ano mang legacy ng mga characters and series na yun. Kasi the more nangyari to kay Venom nung 90s. Sa sobrang popular ni Venom, ginawa ng Marvel halos lahat ng mga books niya kahit hindi naman siya related doon. Kunyari sa Daredevil, lumalabas ginagawang guest star si Venom. So, by the end of the 90s, pagpapasok ng 2000s, nobody wants Venom. Parang pinapatay siya sa overexposure, which is yun yung naramdaman ko, yung honest take ko, yun yung naramdaman ko sa Star Wars nung ma-acquire ng Disney. As in, parang overexposed na lahat.
Yeah, they're trying to milk everything out of Star Wars. And then yun nga, feeling ko nga rin talaga ni-rush nila yung na-rush nila yung episodes 7, 8, 9. That's why parang ang pangit talaga ng kinalabasan. They're trying to catch the magic of the original original trilogy, but they somehow failed spectacularly. Yeah, parang di naman sa ano, dito. Yeah, a lot of people would say, Dave, okay pa rin yung ano, yung Last Jedi, but it caused a division, great rift between the fans of the the Star Wars fandom. Yun lang yung masabi ko din doon.
Saka for me, yung story of Star Wars naman, di umiikot lang sa Skywalker. So,
true.
Maybe it's finally, or ito na yung time na to let go of the Skywalker family for good and start over sa mga bagong stories. Kasi, meron namang mga marami pa namang possibilities and bigyan mo lang ng magaling na writer and director.
Yeah.
Pwedeng makapag-ignite ng spark uli yan and then ma-renew yung interest ng mga tao sa Star Wars.
Say for example na lang, no? Although meaning ko, di ko pa napapanood yung season 2 ng Andor, but nung pinanood ko yung season 1, although the first 3 episodes napakabagal, but when you go past that 3 episodes na yun, ang bilis na nangyayari, ang dami na nangyayari.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's one of the most grounded Star Wars series na napanood ko. Kasi yun nga parang they're not focusing on the Jedi or the Sith. They're focusing on the
rebellion itself.
No, the birth of the Rebel Alliance. At the same time, dito pinapakita nila yung structure of the empire, yung political structure ng empire and the bureaucracy of the empire na parang it adds to the world building of Star Wars itself na hindi natin nakikita yun from the original trilogy, the sequel trilogy, and even other series pa ng Star Wars.
Saka yun nga, parang rin, ito maganda example is Cobra Kai.
Yeah, Cobra Kai.
So, nag-introduce sila ng mga bagong characters. Although may mga appearance pa rin yung mga lumang characters, pero hindi na sila yung sole focus. And which is nangyari na naman sa episode 7, 8, 9, pero ang naiinis ako dun sa sa episode 9 is they have to rely on bringing back Emperor Palpatine na naman.
Yeah. Somehow Emperor Palpatine's alive. Yun ang naging nila, excuse nila. Wala nang maisip si J.J. Abrams kung paano gagawin yun
Tsaka yung backstory ni Rey. Ako mas tanggap ko na yung mga rumors noon na na anak siya ni Obi-Wan. Mas for me mas acceptable yung ganon kaysa naman pinilit nila na relative ni Palpatine.
Is either anak ba ni Obi-Wan or apo? Feeling ko mas okay na apo
Yung apo mo. Pero yun yung rumor noon about 10 years ago na yun baka anak siya ni Obi-Wan, ganyan.
Yeah. Yung nga rin ang pansin ko nun through the rumors. Pero yeah, it's a curveball it's a curveball but not a good curveball. Na they put Rey as a Palpatine. Yun lang. Rami na rin na pala natin na pagkwentuhan about Star Wars and well, na lang talaga sobrang daming random stuff na pwede pagkwentuhan. Apa ba? Wala na rin ako aside from Gavan. Yun. Di ba napapanood ng Gavan Infinity?
One episode lang. Talagang hindi not sure kung dahil tumatanda na ako, nahihirapan na akong manood ng Tokusatsu ngayon as in yung when the news broke out na wala na si Kenji Oba. Trinay kong panoorin yung Gavan na original. So, after episode 1, wala na.
Di na siya actually nga parang dito on our end on our age pala ang talagang pinanood yung talagang Tokusatsu series na would really engage us would be the likes of yung Kamen Rider Black Sun.
Oo.
Kamen Rider
Saka
Black
yung
Sun.
yung
Oo.
may connection sa sa kabataan mo talaga, which
Mm-mm.
is sa akin yung huling tokusatsu movie na pinanood ko is yung Kamen Rider 555 na 20th anniversary, yung
Mm.
Paradise Regained.
Mm.
So kasi isa sa mga nagustuhan kong shows or Kamen Rider series before is Kamen Rider 555. So may special yun. May kumbaga may sentimental value sa akin. Talaga pinanood ko siya
Mm.
even when pag lumabas na, hopefully
Mm.
lumabas sa mga legal na streaming site yung Agito na bagong movie, yung bagong
Yeah.
movie, yung
Mm-mm.
Psychic War.
Oo.
So papanoorin ko rin yun kasi yun,
Yeah.
malapit sa puso ko ang mga Heisei Riders except Kamen Rider Ghost. Pero
Actually,
yung lahat ng Heisei Riders talaga nagustuhan ko sila. Talagang totally nag-invest ako ng time, nag-invest din sa merch. So talaga pag I will keep coming back for more if ever meron silang i-release ng mga bagong materials or bagong mga kahit mga movies. Although yung Reiwa stuff, nahihirapan talaga akong panoorin. Na ako, parang 20 episodes na ako sa Kamen Rider Geats, pero yun, iba, parang hindi ako na-addict. Although
mm.
maganda siya, pero alam mo yun, hindi ko siya binibinge watch.
Oh, how about dito, Kamen Rider Zets. Actually, dito, Kamen Rider Sets and even Kamen Rider ay di Kamen Rider tuloy. Even Space Sheriff Gavan Infinity would be available in the Philippines via YouTube sa
Actually,
Vaniwan
available na.
Asia. Oh, available
Available na.
na.
Parang 30 plus na exist, tapos 3 episode na yung Gavan Infinity.
Infinity. So yeah, you can catch up with the yun nga lang, medyo late na, but yeah, you can try to catch up with the episodes na kung di nyo rin naman napapanood. At least ito legal.
Hindi mo na
Hindi
kailangan
mo na kailangan oo.
mag-join sa specific group or maghanap ng link kung saan-saan para mapanood. At least to legal, and wala nang if naka-YouTube Premium ka, walang ads.
Walang ads yan. Oo,
Oo.
totoo. So yeah, it also helps rin na it also helps rin na watching it through legal means to give this to parang yung habang pinapanood mo to, kumikita rin sila, kumbaga. Parang yun nga yung strategy rin ngayon ni Tsuburayas to to make Ultraman available globally through YouTube They
Pero
already
yung Ultraman, matagal nang naka-available sa YouTube yung ibang
mm,
series niya. Parang
oo.
nung around nung time ni Decker,
Mm,
lumalabas siya weekly doon. Tapos eventually mga movies nila nandun na din.
yeah.
And hopefully lahat ng series, maging Ultra series maging available na legally dun sa official channel ni Ultraman talaga. Kasi pag nakita mo yung, let's say, Ultraman Gaia,
Mm.
lahat ng episodes sila nasa YouTube pero hindi sa hindi sa official channel ni Chuburaya.
Oo. Hindi sa hindi sa Tsuburaya channel nga. Oo. Pansin ko nga din 'yan. Pa ba? Yeah. Yeah, it's a good thing that a lot of animes ngayon na dito. Yeah, ang daming pa lang ngayon, daming na down ngayon na ano, ili quote unquote illegal anime websites, no?
Mm-mm.
Kasi dito napaka na ngayon, napaka stringent, hindi na stringent, napaka robust na ngayon ng law enforcement against anime piracy. Talagang they strike down na ngayon yung mga illegal anime websites na nagfi-feature ng mga anime, which is technically I think pa ba? Kasi kung hindi kung wala rin yung mga yon, hindi rin magbo-boom yung anime industry right now .
Mm.
pero somehow, sikat yung mga, nagiging mainstream na yung anime because a lot of people are having access to those, to those anime through those sites nga. Pero, walang napupunta sa production sa even to the animators, to the producers, to the walang napupunta sa kanila kung you're going to watch it through illegal sites yun yung
Parang
masaklap
lang
doon.
din yan. Oo, parang lang din yan. Yung kunyari sa mga manga and comics, kapag hindi nyo sila binibili legally,
Mm-mm.
let's say, hindi nyo naman kailangan bilhin yung print, pero pwede nyo naman sila bilhin or mag-subscribe sa official,
Yeah.
um, official na digital provider, let's say sa Comixology or let's say sa Shonen Jump.
Yeah, Shonen Jump.
Pero pag dina-download nyo siya dina-download nyo siya illegally sa torrent or kung saan man, parang inanakawan nyo na rin yung kita yung mga manga and comics creators. So as much as possible, I highly encourage to buy their work and wag masyadong as much as possible i-limit or i-eliminate yung pagbabasa ng mga pirated.
Yeah. Pero it's a matter of rin naman kasi talaga. Piracy is an issue of accessibility, not of the product itself. So, ibig sabihin nun, parang if the product is not accessible on a particular area, people will find ways on how to get those products.
Dati, oo. Pero ngayon mas malaki na yung range nila. Let's say sabihin natin, may yung Marvel Unlimited available na dito sa atin, yung Shonen Jump available na rin dito sa atin. So parang mas madali nang makakuha or maka-acquire ng product legally. Same with the streaming. Meron kang Netflix, meron kang HBO, meron kang Amazon. So parang kumbaga hindi na ganun ka hindi na andyan na lahat. Kailangan mo lang ng magbayad syempre, pero legal naman yun.
Pero yun din yung isa ring dilemma kasi you're paying one site kasi you need to subscribe to for the access, diba? You're pay pero paano pag yung isang site, yung isang streaming or hosting site meron ganito, gusto mo pa mapanood yung isang series na makikita mo lang or mababasa mo lang sa isang site, diba? That's also and then you're also limited, you also exist on a limited budget lang. So doon nagkakaroon I think doon nagkakaroon ng problema kasi people are a lot of businesses are building up on a competition na ganito ganyan, providing streaming or hosting services. They have varieties, they have exclusives, pero dito people only have limited budget, and then syempre they would only choose to stick to one streaming or hosting platform, and then others ipipirata na nila kasi medyo na tayo dito saturated na tayo ng mga ganung platforms na para bang ang hirap ng mag-subscribe ka sa maraming ganun. Kasi dito ikaw naman ang mauubos. Bulsa mo naman ang mauubos.
Kaya nga you have to choose wisely and consume lang kung ano yung kaya mo.
Totoo. Yan naman. Tama naman yun. Okay. So, we already have almost an hour. For mga 45 minutes na rin tayo nag-uusap. So, any last thoughts na lang siguro, Migs, before we end this episode para at least maaga tayo makapagpahinga dahil alam kong pareho tayo pagod from these weekdays.
Sa akin lang, sobrang nabigla ako dun sa news with Kenji Oba. So, if sa mga viewers natin, this is a bit personal, pero yung start ng year, we've dealt a lot of losses. So, parang starting from our 12-year-old cat, nawala siya. Then, yung 8-year-old dog ng wife ko. Then sumunod dyan, yung biggest blow is yung maternal grandfather ko nawala ng February. Parang this year has been full of losses, and then ayan pa. Although hindi ko kaano-ano si Kenji Oba, pero malaki siyang part ng childhood ko and ng love ko for Tokusatsu. Gokaiger is one of the series na nung time na yun, that's around 2011, 2012, nung I was unsure sa career ko or sa mga direction ko sa buhay nung time na yun. So let's say it's not a good stretch nung time na yun, pero I held on to Gokaiger dahil yun yung nakapagbigay sa akin ng happiness doon and hope, and seeing Kenji Oba dun sa mga guest appearances sa series. So sobrang nakaka-uplift and sobrang nostalgic, lalo na nung lumabas siya dun sa 199 battle. Maski dun sa Gokaiger versus Space Sheriff Gavan, and yung Christmas episode where is naging si Santa Claus.
Di ba nagkaroon ng crossover ang Deca Ranger at Space?
Yes. Oo, 2017 ata 2016. Basta yun, isa pa rin yun, pinanood ko rin yun, which is sobrang nakakalungkot lang din kasi we're hoping din na at some point magkita sila ni Gavan Infinity, pero mukhang hindi na siya mangyayari.
Oo.
And kapag inisip ko talaga, pag narinig ko yung Jochak, si Kenji Oba yung unang pumapasok sa isip ko.
Yeah. So
parang alam mo yun, yung parang mahirap sabihin, pero parang alam mo yun, with lots of losses, parang yung color ng nakagistan mong entertainment, parang hindi naman dull, pero it's less colorful now.
Yeah, naging turning monochromatic ika. But hopefully we could find or regain those colors na sa tingin natin is na nawala. But hopefully ito, or my final thoughts na rin, no, for us Filipinos, for us Filipino kids who or Filipino adults who grew up in the 80s and 90s, no, mas familiar tayo kay Shider. Yeah, totoo, kasi yun yung sumikat dito sa Pilipinas and in other parts of the world. But if Shider will never be sikat or well known here in the Philippines kung yung predecessors niya is hindi sumikat. So with sumikat sa Japan, kumbaga. So we should also thank yung gumawa and then the actor of Sharivan, and then also Retsuichi Kenji Oba, who started it all as Space Sheriff Gavan. So without him, technically di mabubuo yung Space Sheriff trilogy. Walang Space Sheriff trilogy without Gavan or without Kenji Oba. So yun. And hopefully guys, we remember Kenji Oba through his legacy, through his works. Yeah, and yun nga, available if you really want to watch Space Sheriff Gavan and Kenji Oba again, you can watch it through YouTube. Meron yun nga, kasabi lang namin, available yung Space Sheriff, the whole series, all episodes of Space Sheriff Gavan on YouTube, Toei Tokusatsu World channel. And yun nga, as what Mig said, even we grieve the losses that we experience for this year. We may lose a lot of our loved ones this year, but we still remember that we love them, and grieving is a sign of love that is not lost but a love that is sabihin natin na you can love that cannot be reciprocated because of the loss of the love of our loved ones. Ano yan? Yan. And yun nga, sabi nga rin naman ni Luffy na people are considered really dead if we are parang if there are no more people who will remember them.
Parang sa Coco.
Yeah. Totoo. Parang sa Coco. So yan. As long as we remember them, as long as there are people who remember those people who left or who left who passed, no? So yun. They will still be alive in our hearts. Yan lang. Di na natin napag-usapan yung mga recent na malungkot rin kasi yun yung mga recent na mga na-terminate ng contract sa WWE. Medyo mabigat pag-usapan yun. Next time lang siguro. Anyway, sige. Shoutout na lang, Migs.
Yeah. Sa akin, siyempre, shout out sa aking number 1 fan, sa aking wife. Natutulog na ata. Pero shout out sa aking wife kasi Kata for setting up this angle.
Mas maganda nga ngayon yung yung setup mo ngayon compared sa akin wala lang blurred pa.
Hiniram ko rin yung tablet stand niya, so nakapatong yung phone doon, so yun.
Mas maganda na yung setup mo ngayon, yeah.
Tapos yung shoutout din sa mga friends ko na sa comics, si Peter na nagbigay ng pamanang comics sa akin last week, tapos si Edric, si Benj, tsaka si Tupe. So thank you sa mga Geek Talks natin last week. So hopefully maulit pa, and hopefully rin makasama namin kayo dito sa dito sa podcast.
Yeah, hopefully we could have you hear the podcast. Actually, dito basta mag-invest, I'll try to invest on equipment that we can do a recording outside of this hindi tayo magre-record na via Google Meet lang or other recording. Parang gagawa tayo ng paraan na makapag-live recording tayo somewhere na tayo magkikita, ganun. Meet lang tayo, then we can just talk about anything. Yan.
And lastly pala, shout out din kay Sandy at sa buong crew ng Comic Odyssey dahil sa very successful na Free Comic Book Day this year. Although hindi ako nakapunta, pero I've seen the pictures, I've seen the videos, ang daming umattend. So sana yung mga pumila dun sa Free Comic Book Day ma-inspire na gumawa and magbasa palalo ng comics.
Yes. Hopefully. Yeah. And for me, shout out sa wife ko. Syempre, natutulog na rin. Matutulog pa lang. Shout out na rin sa ating ibang mga co-host, kay Eugene, kay John, and kay Mandy. Yun. Again, papromote ko lang, meron ulit watch party for WWE Backlash Tampa sa May 10. You can check on Pipecast Podcast Facebook page, so you can check the details on how you could register. I think ang venue ng watch party nila would be the same sa Gameville pa rin, Mandaluyong. Maybe time would gates open would around 6 a.m. So yeah, please do watch the WWE Backlash live with your fellow fans. Maganda actually maganda experience na nakakapanood ka ng ng wrestling matches ni watch party kasi parang andun ka na rin. So hopefully next time we would be there to watch other pay-per-views with you or other PLEs. Yan. pa ba? And also, yeah, again, thank you very much again to our viewers, and our subscribers and our listeners via Spotify. Not kung wala kayo, I think we're not hindi kami magko-continue sa aming ginagawa, but still we, we're going to be more active na rin kahit pa medyo busy lang talaga, but still we're still continuing this for the love of geekdom and anything geekiness or whatsoever, basta nandyan pa rin kayo at nakikinig sa amin kung ano man mga kahit di kayo sumangayon or hindi sumangayon man kayo sa hindi, hopefully you're still there sticking with us through thick and thin. Yan.
I-continue namin to hanggat hindi nagiging world champion si Danhausen.
si Danhausen. Sino kaya yung niya, mystery partner against The Miz
and Kit Wilson.
Yeah, hopefully Danhausen will become world champion. Pero paano kaya naging world champion siya bigla? Tapos na tayo.
Tapos na.
Anyway.
Hindi dapat Grand Slam champion.
Grand Slam. Tama. Grand Slam champion. So, malayo-layo pa yun. Yeah. Okay. And with that, we end our episode. Thank you very much again, Migs, for this episode. Hopefully, marami pa tayong episode sa pagsasamahan. I think marami pa. Yeah.
We'll try every month kung malilibre para consistent tayo.
And syempre, yeah, we also looking forward to have you with the other guys para masaya. And then yan. Of course, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And also follow us on our socials, Geeks Out of Nowhere on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Wala tayo sa X or sa Twitter. With that, we end our episode. Together with Miguel, I'm Jomar, and we are 1, 2, 3 Geeks
Out of Nowhere.
See you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.